Here's something nobody selling you a writing course wants to admit. You can read every book about how to write, do every exercises, highlight every chapter on show don't tell, and still write like a robot. I know because I did exactly that for years. The book that actually changed how I write, not one of them is about writing books. They are sitting right here. And there are around five of them. And by end of this video, I think at least two will going to be ending up in your list. Namaskara, Akshata here, and this is Firstscribe, the corner of the internet for people who want to write and people who just love a good story told well. So grab your coffee, let's get into it. Okay, number one, the one I fought the hardest Atomic Habits by James Clear. I used to wait to feel inspired. Be honest, so do you. The problem is, inspiration is a terrible employee. It shows up late, leaves early, ghosts you for weeks. And Clear's big idea isn't about build habits, it's identity. You don't write because you're trying to finish a book. You write because you have decided you're a writer, and the writers write even badly, even for 10 minutes. The point isn't the 10 minutes. The point is you cast a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. The day I stopped saying I want to write more and started saying I'm someone who writes every day. Even when the words were garbage, that's the day the drafts actually started getting finished. यही एक shift है that changed everything. If you take one thing from this whole video, stop waiting for the mood, build the identity. Number two isn't even a writing book, it's a neuroscience. The Organized Mind by Daniel Levitin. It's about why your brain feels so overloaded all the time. Why you forget the grocery list but remember a song from 2009. Why decision exhaust you by 6 p.m. But buried in there is the line that rewired how I write. So your brain isn't built to store anything. It's built to find things. The moment I read that, I understood why my writing always felt tangled. I was trying to hold 20 ideas in my head and write a clean sentence at the same time. Can't be done. So I changed one thing. Every idea, every half line, every what if goes out of my head. The second it shows up into notes, drafts, voice memos, doesn't matter where. Not because I'm organized, because my brain can't create and store at once. It has to pick one. That's the lesson. A cluttered mind doesn't create clearly, it just writes anxious. Get the mess out of your head and onto the page, even the ugly and even the unfinished ones, and suddenly there is a space to actually think. That's where the good sentences come from, not the tidier brain, an emptier one. Number three, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. On paper, this should be boring. It's like 70 thousands of human history, that's like a textbook. Instead, millions of people who would never touch a history book couldn't put this book down, including me. Why? Because Harari doesn't dump facts on you. He structures them like a story. He sets up a question, makes you curious, then answers it. And the answer opens a bigger question. He's pulling you forward paragraph by paragraph. And the way a good thriller does. That's the whole game in the nonfiction and essay. Never explain something the reader didn't first want to know. Create a question, then satisfy it. I restructured my entire approach to essay around this. Open a loop, earn the curiosity, then pay it off. If your writing is accurate but boring, it's not facts problem, it's a structure problem. Steal from Harari. Number four, the only novel on the list, The Midnight Library by Haig. The premise is simple, a library between life and death, where every book is a version of your life if you had made a different choices. Kitni bar we have all lain awake, wondering, what if I would have chosen differently? Haig took that universal 2 a.m. thought and built a whole world on it. That's the lesson. The strongest fiction usually starts from one deeply human, what if? And the one feeling everyone has already had. You're not inventing the emotion, you're giving it a story to live inside. And the second, this book taught me is to write your characters like you love them, even the flawed ones, especially the flawed ones. Because readers don't bond over perfect people, they bond over the real ones. Number five, the most practical. Deep Work by Cal Newport. Here's the uncomfortable truth Newport made me face. I didn't have a writing problem, I had a focus problem. I would sit down to write, just check the Instagram for a second, and surface 40 minutes later with nothing. Newport's argument is that ability to focus without distraction is becoming rare and valuable. And writing is maybe the most deep work dependent thing there is. You cannot write anything good in fragments of attention. Good sentences need unbroken mind. So I changed the conditions. Phone in another room, one tab, a timer, 90 minutes where the only thing I'm allowed to do is to write and stare at the wall. Eventually, you can choose to write on the wall also. So if your writing keeps stalling, it might not be talent or ideas. It might just be the world is engineered to shatter your attention and you haven't fought back yet. So that's five. Atomic habits: show up as a writer, don't wait for the mood. Franklin said the truth said plainly beats anything decorative. And Sapiens: create a question before you answer it. The Midnight Library: start from what if everyone's already felt and love your characters. And Deep Work: protect your focus like it's the whole job. Because it is. Notice what's missing from this list? A single book title, How to Write. And that's the point. Becoming a better writer isn't mostly about technique, it's about who you become. And honestly, you're willing to write and whether you can sit still long enough to do it. If even one of these is going on your list, tell me which one in the comments. I read and reply to every single one, I promise. And if you want, I'll take any one of these books and do a full deep dive on what it teaches about writing. Just tell me which. I'm Akshata, and this is Firstscribe. Keep reading, keep writing, and I'll see you in the next one. Matte sigana.